I don't love the meats. I'm vegetarian. There is no meats for me. What the fuck is a tea egg? 59 methods.
Hey everybody, this is Emil Stanek, editor for Basically at Bon Appetit, and this is almost every way to cook an egg. First we did chicken, now we're doing egg. This is an egg. Ovular in shape, they come in a lot of different colors, but there's not a whole lot of difference on what's on the inside. Size, however, does matter as it affects the cook time. So for consistency, today we're just using large brown eggs. When you crack them, you can see that they're comprised of a runny white and the yellow-orange center, or yolk, which both contain different proteins that coagulate or harden at different temperatures.
I've never known this much about eggs.
So just a few degrees of difference in cooking temperature or time are gonna have a profound impact on how the final egg turns out. We're gonna take these eggs and cook them in as many ways as we can possibly think of so you can see the process and the end results.
What the
Raw egg. Okay, we couldn't start this video on all of the ways to cook eggs without also doing a few ways to not cook
27 minutes, you guys.
People eat raw eggs all the time, but we're just gonna take an egg, crack it into a glass, it's nice and cold, and that
Keen,
is an
yay
egg
or nay?
shot. This is literally just an egg cracked into a glass. There's nothing else going on. Cheers. It doesn't actually taste like that much because there's no salt or anything else in there. It's just kind of a weird textural sense going on. Cheers. It doesn't actually taste like that much because there's no salt or anything else in there. It's just kind of a weird textural sensation.
I don't think I could do that.
Prairie oyster egg. A raw egg is a raw egg, but a raw egg, once you put it into a cup and put a little bit of salt and some Tabasco and some Worcestershire on it, well, then you have what's called a prairie oyster.
Is that how you say it?
Apparently this is good for a hangover.
Oh god, you ready for a laugh? I say Worcestershire sauce. How do you... Wait, let me read it. What the fuck? I've never heard that. Worcestershire sauce. Sauce. Worcestershire. Worcester. I'm fairly sure I call it Worcester. Worcester. Oh man, how does he say it?
Salt and some Tabasco and some Worcestershire on it. Well, then you have what's called a prairie oyster. Apparently this is good for a hangover, though I have my doubts. Let's give it a shot.
Or again?
It definitely tastes more than a raw egg.
No
the
shit.
Smell is really hard to get out of your nose once you swallowed it. But we're not done yet. Amber moon egg. We've had a raw egg, we've had a prairie oyster. Now we're gonna make something called an amber moon, which is basically all of those things plus liquor. Now it's a cocktail. All right, there it is. Amber moon.
Egg
Bottoms up, cowboy.
In cocktails, but not
Spicy,
like a full
salty.
egg.
The only thing that's
like
hard is actually the quantity of liquid.
Like the
but I actually think that if I was hungover and I drank this, I would either vomit and go back to bed or move on with my day in a pretty cool way. Sunny side up egg. What we're looking for here is no color or crispiness on the white, and then a yolk that's just runny and ready to burst. We're not gonna flip it. A little bit of salt, and there you have it, our sunny side up egg. This looks like an emoji egg.
Poached.
The white is kind of slippery in a really appealing way.
Oh my god, he just said
ready to pop. It's
emoji
barely
egg.
gelled. This is what you want for your rice bowl or on top of something like a mushroom toast. It's delicious and very simple. Olive oil fried egg.
No egg is the best.
This time, crispiness is the name of the game.
We can watch science shit if you want to watch after this.
That, my friends, is an olive oil fried egg. You have this nice contrast between these really crispy, lacy edges, and then right here is just barely cooked. So you're getting a lot of flavor from the olive oil
side up,
and a nice
textural
contrast between the super rich, oozy yolk and this almost pork rindy white. This is definitely one of our favorite ways to cook an egg. Olive oil fried and basted egg. We're gonna fry another egg, but this time we're gonna baste it, which means we're gonna spoon hot olive oil over the top of the egg while it cooks. Ooh, yeah, that hurt. Doesn't feel good, but we're not gonna be a baby about it. So the biggest difference here, where the last time we had a little bit of uncookedness right around the yolk, here it's completely cooked. That tastes great. And this is a great way to make a fried egg for somebody who's kind of likes that runny yolk, but is squeamish about uncooked white. Olive oil fried and steamed egg. This time, instead of basting the egg with hot oil, we're gonna add a little bit of water and cover it, which is gonna produce steam that's gonna help to cook the egg. And we're gonna leave it in there for probably about a minute. So right off the bat, you're definitely seeing quite a bit of this crispy outside part, and it's pretty well browned underneath. You still have that nice runniness, but again, it's much thicker than some of the other
I never knew that there was this many ways to cook egg.
Over easy, over medium, and over hard.
Sunny side egg.
We're gonna cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes on this first side, and the only difference between these 3 eggs is once we flip them, they're gonna spend different amounts of time on that second side, which is gonna dramatically change the texture of the yolk. So here we have our 3 classic diner eggs. So over easy, you can see the white is still super tender, and in the yolk is just barely cooked. It's very fluid and runny. The over medium, the yolk is definitely a little bit more cooked.
This is
it's
like
thicker
meat.
and kind of oozing out a lot
I
more
never
slowly.
knew this.
And here with the over hard, you can see the yolk is completely cooked. It almost looks like an 8-minute boiled egg or something like
middle
that.
one.
And the white is definitely a little bit rubbery for that one. So something for everyone. Salt block fried egg. The idea here is that it retains a lot of heat, and it'll maybe season the egg
salt?
somewhat.
Just like
it's also taking a really long time to cook.
cube
So
of
there's your
salt?
salt block fried egg. It's good, but it's definitely not the most efficient or effective way to cook an
What
egg.
the fuck is that?
Muffin egg. We're gonna use a ring mold, which is gonna contain the egg so it doesn't just
Oh, I
leak
like
out
these, they're
everywhere.
fun.
We want that yolk to be fully cooked, because you're gonna eat it in the car. And there we have a perfect Egg McMuffin egg. The main benefit of this is definitely portability, and for anybody who's fully disgusted by runny yolk.
Doesn't
Cracked and scrambled
salt,
egg.
like,
We're just gonna crack these eggs
become
directly into a pan that's set over
pot of
medium
water?
to
Like, it
medium low
dissolves
heat, and we're
in
just
water?
gonna scramble them as we go. We don't want it to be too
So it
hot,
just- it
otherwise
doesn't
our eggs are gonna
burn
get
if you put
cooked too
heat
quickly.
underneath
Always
it?
make sure to pull your scrambled eggs before you think they're done to account for carryover cooking. There you have it, cracked in the pan and scrambled. So what you're gonna notice here are these kind of distinct bits, like that's mostly yolk, here you have mostly white. You definitely have some bits which are a lot richer and some that are a little bit leaner, but there's nothing wrong with this method for scrambling eggs. Low and slow scrambled egg. All right, scrambled eggs
Yes,
round 2.
butter.
This time we're gonna beat them first, and
Real
we're gonna
butter.
cook them really low and slow, which is my favorite way to make eggs. You're continuing to stir so you don't have any kind of big sheets of egg. We want the texture to almost be like ricotta or cottage cheese. And there you have some beautiful soft scrambled eggs. You notice that the texture is like curdy. The French
I
would
think
use the term
eggs was one of the
"davousse," which
first
actually
things I
means
learned how to
dog's
cook
milk.
as a
Delicious,
kid.
right? There are a lot of people who would think that eggs like this are kind of undercooked. To me, this is perfect. Hot and fast scrambled egg. Scrambled eggs, round 3, but hot and fast this
People
time.
who eat
We're
hot
gonna
scrambled
beat the
eggs
together,
drowning
make sure
ketchup
they're
hurt
fully
my soul.
incorporated, and you're gonna have to start moving these eggs around as soon as they hit the pan. They're gonna cook in less than a minute. Unlike last time where you had that kind of curdy texture, this time we're going
this is
for
really,
little
this is so
ribbons
bad.
or
I've cooked
sheets of
eggs in the
egg.
microwave.
These are hot and fast
Scrambled eggs.
These are not overcooked. They're not rubbery
Don't
by
kill
any
me,
means, but you
please.
do definitely have a little bit more of
I wonder
the
if they're gonna do
texture
that
of
in
the
here.
pan. It's not quite something that you would spoon up. You really want to get your fork in there. Put that on some toast. Boiled eggs. So we're gonna set 4 separate timers: 5 minutes, 6.5 minutes, 8 minutes, and 10 minutes. The eggs are all gonna go at the same time
I
into already
always put
boiling
ketchup
water.
on
We're gonna pull
eggs.
the eggs out after
Always
these
with
things go
tomato
off.
sauce.
Get them into ice baths, which helps separate the membrane from the actual egg itself. You can't eat a boiled egg without peeling it first. It's interesting to note that it's actually easier to peel an egg that is older rather than a super farm fresh egg. And voila, a
I
boiled
usually
egg.
put the
Okay,
eggs
so looking at
under
all these boiled
cold
eggs,
running
we're
water
really able to see
soon
the
as they
way
came
that
out, but I
time
didn't think about
affects
ice
the white
water.
and the yolk. Let's start here with our 5-minute egg. You can see it has an almost runny white and a completely liquid yolk. Great
Six
for
and a
dipping
half.
toast into.
Six and a
This is our
half.
6.5-minute egg. I feel like this has the most appealing sort of contrast between that really soft yolk and a fully cooked white. Next up, our 8-minute egg. There's no running whatsoever.
6.5.
The yolk is still very orange and isn't chalky at all. That's
6.5.
really nice. And last but not
100%.
least, we have our 10-minute egg. Firm whites and a yellow yolk that has just a bit of that orange jamminess. This is like the kind of thing I just want to keep in the fridge to
Orange
pull out whenever I'm super hungry.
jamminess.
Steamed egg. So we've boiled eggs, but now we're gonna steam them. This is effectively the same thing. Cool thing about this is you don't have to wait for a whole pot of water to boil, and
Wait,
it
what
doesn't
the
matter
fuck?
how
You
many
can
eggs you
steam
put
them
in there. They're all gonna
in a
have the same
shell?
amount of steam circulating around them, which
That
is
is
really
a
cool.
big bowl of ice.
And here we have our steamed egg. So what we have right here is a really nice looking 8-minute egg. The white is very tender. We've got this nice
can't believe
jammy
there's this
looking
many
yolk.
methods to
Personally,
cook
this is one of my favorite
eggs.
methods for hard boiling eggs. Instant Pot egg. Welcome to hell, kids. This is an Instant Pot. It's a pressure cooker. It's a slow cooker. It does a lot of other things that you can probably do with other things you already have in your kitchen. We're gonna set this thing to 5 minutes. We're gonna get that egg in there, and
Did
when
the
it's
same
done,
thing with
we're gonna
chicken?
vent it, which releases the pressure. And there you go.
Oh my god.
All right, so here we have our
Voodoo.
pressure cooked egg. To me,
Every way to cook
that's
potato.
an overcooked
63
boiled egg.
methods.
This actually took longer and did a worse job. So yeah, steaming, boiling, a much better option. Sous vide egg. Normally something is sealed inside a plastic pouch and then put into a water bath that's at a consistent temperature for a
stuff's so
specific amount of time. In this
expensive.
case, no bag. The egg is its own bag. So we're just gonna let that immersion circulator move the water around at that very consistent temperature for around 45 minutes. And we're good to go. So this is our sous vide egg. The yolk's wiggly, the white's
Why don't you
wiggly.
try that with meats?
everything's
Yeah.
wiggly. That's delicious. The
My
sensation
girlfriend
in your
got one
mouth is
for,
almost like an egg
her wedding
jelly.
registry.
But if runny eggs are not your thing, this is not for you.
She loves it.
Pickled egg. So now we're gonna have some fun with our 8-minute boiled eggs by
Pickled
pickling
eggs, yes or
them
no?
in a beet-infused vinegar mixture. So we've got some distilled white vinegar, a cup of water, some salt, sugar, and then we're gonna throw in some beets. And once that comes to a boil, we're gonna know our mixture is ready,
Yes,
put a
no,
lid on it,
no.
and boom. Now we're just gonna wait. And here we have our pickled
No.
eggs. These have been sitting in
No.
that pickling liquid for 24 hours.
No,
It's
I'm
tasty.
down.
You definitely get some of the sweetness of the beet, definitely get the sugar. This would make a really nice addition to a picnic spread.
I don't know about
Tea egg.
beetroot.
We're gonna take cinnamon,
But
star
I
anise,
have had them
peppercorns,
before and I
cloves,
like
fennel
it.
seed, sugar, salt, soy sauce, and of course, tea. We've got our soft-boiled eggs. We're gonna crack them all over with the back of the spoon. Then we're gonna submerge them in this liquid and let them cook for
What
about
the
30 minutes.
fuck
We're gonna
is
add
this?
some ice, which is gonna cool things off. Then we're gonna cover them with the marinade to let them pick up even more color over the course of the next day.
Wait, is that still
Look
got
at
the
that
shell on
beautiful
it?
tea-stained egg. It's got this stained
Whoa,
glass-looking
that's so cool.
exterior. It's delicious. You really get those
I
spices.
don't know about the
This is a
tea
really
flavor,
fun
but
way to eat
it
an
looks
egg.
sick.
Poached egg, the brunch time
Why don't you
favorite.
just do
we
that
don't
with,
actually
like,
want this water to be
food
boiling.
dye?
It's just at the barest simmer. And then we're gonna use our spoon to create a vortex, and then we're gonna plop the egg right in it, which is gonna help
I'm
to
not a
kind
huge
of
fan of
blast off any
beetroot.
of the wispy parts. See, now it's starting to form kind of a nice little package. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. This is hard to do. So here you
I've
can
done
tell
it
if the
before.
white
That's
is
not that
totally
hard to
cooked, and
do.
when you poke it, you can tell if the yolk is still nice and fluid, almost like a yolk water balloon.
A
This is the
dragon
platonic
egg?
ideal of the poached
Way
egg.
too much
This is
work for
awesome.
eggs.
Egg poached in tomato sauce. Basically, the idea is you have a hot tomato-based sauce, and then you're gonna create a little well in the middle of it, pop your egg right in there, and let the heat of the simmering sauce cook the eggs. In a dream world, the white is all cooked and the yolk is still a little bit runny.
What?
See, I'm kind of concerned here that the bottom part of the egg got the lion's share of the heat. The tomato sauce is kind of an imprecise cooking medium, so it's not conducting heat as consistently as a pan full of water is going to.
What?
But it does add a lot of flavor,
Hi,
which
Kate.
is exciting. I don't know. I could go either way on this one.
Yeah.
Microwave scrambled eggs. We're gonna use this little
Hey!
egg holder to make scrambled eggs. Add a little bit of milk
I
to
make
help
them in
it
a
out, and then
cup
put that
there.
in the microwave for 40 seconds. Breakfast.
I put
gotta
it
be
in just
real,
like a
this looks
mug.
pretty gross. I don't know why you would do this.
That
Don't.
you stop it and you stir
Microwave
it.
poached egg.
Don't.
Microwave round 2. Revenge of the microwave.
Wait, we could do a cooking
this time,
stream.
We're gonna
I
try
have
to
a
poach an egg
microwave.
in here. 27
How
seconds.
many things can I cook in a
That
microwave?
is an egg poached in the microwave? This is not good. This looks really, really gross. The microwave might save some time, but it also makes bad eggs. Pass.
Hey, it's
George Foreman egg.
pretty good
All right,
for
this is a George
20
Foreman
second
grill.
eggs.
You know it, you love it. We're gonna open this up, non-stick
think
spray,
so.
crack an egg on there, close it, and walk away. And
What?
that, my friends, is an egg cooked on a George Foreman grill. I mean, this is a depressing way to cook an egg, you know? It's fully cooked, the yolk is pretty gnarly looking. I mean, if you had to, you could cook an egg this way. I'm really sorry. Waffle iron egg. I mean, we've used every other appliance in the kitchen, so we may as well try a waffle iron. I'm just going to lube it up a little bit, crack an egg right in there, and close this. Wow, there's a lot
Waffle
of steam
eggs.
coming off of this guy.
Whoa.
Oh my god, that
What
is our
happens if you
waffle
put, like,
iron cooked
more?
egg. This looks like
What if
some
you put,
kind
like,
of
3 or
alien, like
4
a face
eggs in
hugger
there?
or something.
And then
can
you just have a
definitely see that the
waffle
yolk
egg.
is pretty unpleasant and overcooked.
Why would you not do that? Why would you just put one?
This is not a particularly delicious egg.
What if you made,
Waffled
like, a
egg,
mixed-
Not so much.
I need
Blowtorch
more.
egg.
I
This is
need
an egg.
more on that.
This
What if you
is a
put like
blowtorch.
mixed?
We're gonna crack this egg right
Um,
onto a sheet pan, and then we're gonna cook it with our blowtorch. We've got a little diffuser on here to kind of help disperse the heat a little bit more
Who?
evenly, and we're just gonna blast this thing
Who?
with open flame until it's
I need to know who
done,
does
I
this.
guess? Oof, this. I think we can
Who has that
say
big
this is not an effective way to
Of a
cook an egg.
blowtorch for
Diner
their
style
kitchen.
omelet.
Like
All
I've
right,
seen
so we've
the
got
small
our pan
ones.
on medium heat.
for
We're gonna put a
souffle or
little
something,
butter in
but
there to heat up until it's almost browning. We really want to beat these
It's
eggs
like a-
together
a
until we don't see any streaks of
welding
egg
one.
white. We're gonna pour the eggs
gonna say
in.
wielding.
As you can see, it's starting to cook immediately. So I'm just gonna kind of start nudging it along with my spatula, then fold it over, flip that out, and that is your diner style omelet. So a diner style omelet is normally kind of a blank canvas for all of the sorts of fillings that you might put into it. It's not normally about the eggs
Yeah, you
themselves.
wield it in
This would
one
be delicious
hand.
with some
It's an
ham and
offhand.
peppers and cheese. French omelet. This time we're using low heat, and this is gonna come together much more slowly. We're gonna beat our eggs, get
That's
a little
lot
bit of
of
butter in
salt.
the pan. We're gonna pour our eggs in, and then we're gonna start stirring constantly. We want the kind of curdy sort of texture. As soon as we start to form a little bit of skin, we're gonna start rolling, and then we're gonna flip it out, and voila. That is a French omelet. This is a much more refined, delicate style of omelet. This is all about the egg. You don't really need to add any toppings.
That kinda
or
looks
fillings
good.
Here. Very creamy, very tender.
Prevent the
This is
egg
a
beating
beautiful way to cook an egg.
abuse.
Souffle omelet. This is a modern novelty omelet. So in this case, we're gonna separate the whites and the yolks. We're
I
gonna
think
beat
separating
the
them
whites
is
until
so
they're fluffy,
fun.
like you would for meringue. Then we're gonna
That's-
fold the yolks
That's what
back
I've had in
into
a
the
cocktail.
whites,
It's
transfer
delicious.
that to a hot
And I love
pan
meringues.
with butter, put a plate
What the
over
fuck?
top to make sure the top cooks as well, and then we're gonna fold it, flip it out onto the plate, and that is a souffled omelet. This is huge. That's because of all of the air that we beat into the eggs before we cook them. Has a light, cakey,
Would
fluffy
you?
sort of texture. Definitely not something
Would
I'd want
you?
to eat
Yay or
every
nay?
day, but definitely interesting.
I wanna.
Cloud egg. The
I wanna
cloud
eat
egg
that.
was kind of a novelty that was popular on Instagram for a little while. We're gonna separate the yolk from the white like we did for the souffled omelet. We're gonna dollop that on this baking sheet, and this is gonna go
Can we
into the
arrest
oven
him
at
from
350
crime
degrees
to
for
egg?
about 30 minutes. Now we're gonna
What?
pull it out, and we're gonna drop our yolk back into that little pocket that we made
No.
and bake it until we have the consistency of a sunny side up egg. And that, folks, is a cloud egg. This is kind of a deconstructed egg. It's a little bit high concept. This one is interesting tasting. It's really more for the gram than it is for the mouth. Chinese style steamed
The
egg
gram.
custard. So here we have a couple of eggs. We're gonna mix those with some soy sauce to season it, some chicken stock. We're gonna transfer the eggs to a bowl. We're gonna put the whole bowl into the steamer basket, cover it with a plate, and then put the lid on the pot. And we're gonna let the steam kind of gently cook the entire thing until it's wobbly and custardy. Okay, so this is really cool. As you
Oh,
can see,
no.
it's pretty firm. It almost has the texture of a pie filling. Very silky. This is a
Actually,
win.
I
This would
don't
be
know.
awesome if you drizzle a little bit of sesame oil on top, maybe some scallions. Absolutely delicious.
Oh, I don't
Coddled
know.
egg. So what we have here is an egg coddler. It's kind of a mini pot that we're
I
going
don't
to
know.
put the egg in along with a little bit of cream,
Custard,
and then we're going
except
to
it's
close it up
savory.
and then submerge that in barely simmering
That's
water.
so cute.
And there we have our flying saucer touchdown. That is a coddled egg. All right, so we're going to take
Oh,
the
wait,
lid
it's way
off.
too
Ooh,
liquidy.
that smells really good.
I don't like that.
Basically, the cream helped to create a gentle cooking medium for the egg. The lid helped to trap some steam, so it cooked
nope.
all the way around. What I really want is a couple of toast soldiers to dunk in there. It's very tasty. Shirred egg. So now we're gonna make a shirred
shit,
egg,
really?
which is similar to a coddled egg, but this time it's gonna
Fancy
be open
eggs.
in a ramekin and in the oven.
Wait,
We're
did
gonna
he put
pop that
cream
in
in
a
it?
375-degree oven for between
not paying
12 and
attention.
15 minutes. I can tell that we overcooked this one a little bit, but you still have a little bit of that oozing egg yolk. It's kind of cute. Might be more delicious if you added a little bit
I've
of cheese, made it like a
never
little
heard
egg
somebody call
pot
an egg
for brunch.
cute.
Still has good flavor. This is a nice little self-contained dish. Air fried egg. All right, we couldn't
To be
not
fair,
use
he's
an
made
air
it
fryer. An air
a long
fryer is
time.
basically a tiny convection oven.
With,
so
like, saying something
we've got
about
a
the
ramekin all
eggs.
buttered up. We're gonna crack our egg into it, a little bit of salt, a little bit of cream, open our air fryer and put this guy right in there and close it. We're gonna set it to 300 degrees for like 12
What's an
minutes
air
and
fryer?
see what comes out on the other
That's
side.
interesting. No
So this
oil?
actually has a similar-ish
Really?
texture to
Is
the
that a thing?
shirred egg, except it's definitely a lot more rubbery. It's actually fairly tasty. It took 12 minutes. You can easily fry an
Exactly.
egg in that amount of time on the stovetop and not have
It
to
is
deal
an
with this
excellent
ridiculous
video.
contraption. Deep fried egg. I'm gonna crack an egg into this ladle and then
Wait,
try
you
to
have
get
one,
it in there
Nick?
from as far away
What
as
is
I
it?
can
Does it really
possibly get, because I'm worried this is gonna just
deep fry
explode all over
stuff?
me. Wow,
As if-
it looks like a weird jellyfish. That, my friends, is a deep fried egg. This is definitely a dangerous way to make eggs, but honestly, that's surprisingly good.
It's
This
really
might
good.
be
Gets all the
America's
fat
best
out of
new
stuff
egg.
too.
Dehydrated.
Why is this the
First
first
things
time
first, we're gonna
I've
blend
heard?
these eggs up really well. Then
about
we're gonna
an
pour them
air
into
fryer?
this nice little rack.
My friend
with a
wanted
lip,
to get
close
these
the
to
door,
make their
and turn
own.
the dehydrator on for about 6 hours. Oh god,
Jackie.
it looks like fried cheese. I've heard that some people will dehydrate eggs and then take them
No,
camping.
this
but
is-
unless
that's
you're like
gotta
hiking
be
the
gross.
Appalachian Trail, I don't think this is a very good. way
That looks like orange cheese.
frittata. So now we're gonna make a frittata, which is
Frittatas are
basically
nice.
just a quiche without
Delicious.
a crust. We're gonna crack some eggs, beat them together, add salt, 2
Quiches
ounces
are
of
also
milk,
great.
just to lighten it up. So we're gonna start on the stovetop,
Trump
medium-high
flakes.
heat, just until the edges start to set, and then finish in a 350
think
degree
it's
oven
very
for about
gross,
15 minutes
Macintosh.
until it's golden brown and the center is set. This is basically just baked egg. The egg is fairly tender.
Oh,
it
but
really
you
wants
usually
some
put
cheese
stuff
and
in
other
it.
things in here. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's really not that much to write home about.
Like capsicum, or as you guys say,
We've got
bell
an egg.
pepper.
We've got a skewer. We're
Kate,
gonna put
thank
the
you for the
skewer
25
into
months.
the egg and then freeze it to make like an egg popsicle, I guess.
No.
Okay, yeah, that is a frozen egg. I think we're
Nope.
gonna have to dunk it in some hot water to peel it. Oh no.
Oh.
It is an egg lollipop, and it is starting to thaw a little bit, which is very, very gross. Oh, do I really have to? Oh no, that is so unpleasant. Just don't. Dishwasher cooked egg. Dishwashers get hot, they fill up with steam, so maybe that's a way to cook eggs. We're gonna close it, set this dishwasher for the tough setting, and 3 hours later, Steamy Town. Okay, this is very, very strange. It looks kind of like the 6.5-minute egg that we did earlier, but the yolk cooked more than the white did. I don't understand the science behind that, but something weird happened in that dishwasher. But it definitely works and is kind of weirdly
This
good.
needs to
Maybe the next
stop.
time you're gonna run your dishwasher, throw a couple of eggs in there and you've got lunch. Rice
This
cooker.
needs to
All right,
stop.
let's say you made some rice in the rice cooker, but you want to turn that into something that's a little bit more like a complete meal. Maybe you just want to
God,
open it up
no.
and crack an
Please,
egg right on top
please,
of that
God,
rice.
no.
Cook it right there. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. We're gonna check this after 5 minutes. All right, so this
Who
looks
wants
like a
an
pretty
ice
perfectly
cream
cooked egg. The white is just
Icy
barely
cold
set.
egg.
The yolk just oozes out. Oh, that's so delicious. It's actually kind
I'm
of
just
been
gonna do my
perfumed
washing
by the
and
rice,
clean
and it
my
has like a beautiful,
cutlery
almost
and
nutty
plates.
quality to it.
Oh,
this is a
hold
really
on.
cool and
Let
really
me put my
delicious way to
eggs
cook
in
an
there.
egg.
I just
You got a
wanna
rice
cook 'em.
cooker, you've got everything you need to make it happen. Egg cooker.
God,
edition.
please,
This
please, no.
is an egg cooker. You load it up with eggs, you close the lid, you turn it on, and it steams.
This is
some
my
eggs
video
really
request for next vid.
Here we have an egg that
Rocket
we
Science
cooked
for
in the egg cooker.
Dummies.
This looks pretty
Thanks,
much
Dylan.
exactly like any of our other cooked in shell eggs we made. The question is, do you really want a UFO hanging out
Thanks
on
for
your
$5
counter that only has one purpose? It's not a bad way to cook an egg. There's just no reason to cook an egg this way. Roly cooked.
Wait, what was the
egg.
last one?
More things you can buy on Amazon. I don't know. Apparently, you put the
whatever.
eggs in here and they just come out when it's done. Did you hear that? It just made the weirdest noise. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh my God!
An egg
It looks
sausage?
like it's in a condom. This is the most disgusting egg thing we have made all day. I am sure of it. Oh God! It has a horrible flavor. It tastes like bad seafood. I don't know why. It tastes plasticky. This is horrible. Oven cooked eggs. All right, so people have a whole lot of different hack techniques
All right, we're
for
back to
making
some
all kinds of
semi-normal
different eggs in the
ones
oven.
again.
We're gonna try 3 right now. So on your right, we're just gonna try to make a hard-boiled egg. These next 2, we're gonna butter them. And this middle one, we're gonna put a little bit of water in, crack the egg in there, and try to make a poached egg. On the left, we're gonna crack an egg right in here, add a little bit of salt, a little bit of cream, and then beat that up to try to make a scrambled egg. Then we're gonna take this whole muffin tin, slide it into a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, this looks more like a 6.5-minute egg. And this next one, I didn't really accomplish anything like a poached egg. And then here we have
Still
our
looks fun.
scrambled egg, which is really
That
just kind of like a
reminds-
mini frittata sort of guy, which looks kind of gross. I mean, these oven-hacked methods are not really more
I am
convenient or more
semi being
delicious.
broken by this video.
Egg cooked in broth. So we're gonna season this chicken broth that we have here, bring it up to a simmer, beat 2 eggs up really well, and then we're gonna gently just stream these into the hot broth so that it produces these
I'm
kind
waiting
of
for the
ribbons.
one,
And this is
but
our
he
egg
puts it
cooked
in the
broth.
washing machine.
The strands are a little bit broken up, but you still have these very delicately cooked egg bits floating in a lot of
is
delicious broth.
gross.
The egg adds a nice texture.
Actually, it could
and
kinda
lends
be
it
good.
A nice richness, and the egg
I
itself
feel like
is
that's something
really
you would get in,
delicate
like, a
and
Japanese
slippery.
dish or
This
something.
is really fun.
which I could see
Ah,
being a
the
thing. If
great
it had, like,
outdoors,
it cold?
except for the fact that it's 27 degrees.
Miso
so we're not
soup.
gonna let a little
I can
cold
see that
stop
being
us.
nice and miso
Grilled
soup.
egg. All right, we're gonna grill an egg on a gas-powered grill. We're gonna turn the flames on high. We're gonna cook this for between 10 and 15 minutes. I mean, good enough for who it's for. Well, you know, it's actually not peeling as hard as I thought it was going to. It's definitely a little bit uneven. A little bit of salt. You know, it's not that bad. You could cook an egg this way, but you'd probably want to rotate it just so it cooks a little bit more evenly. Smoked egg. Okay, the idea here is that instead of
this
cooking it
is?
over direct heat,
Oh.
we're gonna let the smoke
It's
and the
called
indirect
Bon
heat cook the
Appetit.
egg over a longer period of time, around an
Sorry,
hour. The coals are all off to
our
one
hand
side, and the
sanitizer
smoke
is-
should circulate around, slowly cooking the egg. This egg, after an hour, is definitely a little bit overcooked. That's pretty good. You actually get a little bit of the smoked flavor. The texture is pretty bad. I would be worried that if we backed off on the time, we wouldn't get that smoked flavor. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there. All right, we got a campfire going right now.
The inside of it
We're
is
gonna knock
cream.
that down to create a little shelf for our cast iron pan. We're gonna give it a drizzle of olive oil.
Oh, hell
and crack
yeah,
our
let's
egg
go
in there.
camping.
I'm actually just a little bit worried that that top is never gonna cook just because of how cold the air is. So, you know, I'm just gonna call an audible and give this a flip real quick just to speed the cooking of the yolk along a little bit. Okay, you can see that underside where it was in direct contact with the pan really took on a lot of color. But that's actually delicious.
Would you like some egg with your salt?
Very
I know, he's been
smoky
putting a lot
flavor
of
and
salt
aroma.
into
It's
these.
very appealing. If you're trying to cook an egg outside on the campfire, a cast iron is definitely a really good option. Foil
I think he's
pack.
trying to be like
So we've got our little foil pack
fancy,
here.
but, like-
We're gonna spray it with some cooking
he doesn't know
spray.
how.
This feels very dangerous.
like
We're gonna crack an egg
a
right in this
bad
pouch,
version.
fold it up,
He's
and
like the
put it
opposite
directly on
version
the fire and
of
see what happens.
the person who's pouring you a
it's
drink when
really
you go out.
puffed
How
up
they-
and pretty
They
insane.
have, like,
Let's just call
the
this.
shot glass
Okay,
and they
so
pour it
here
and
we
then
have
they
our foil
pull it
packed
up and it
egg.
like
For
drizzles like a
whatever
second
reason,
shot
it smells
to like get you
terrible.
a second
I
shot
don't know
in
if
there
the
rather
aluminum
than
burned
like,
or
they're
there was
good-
some
they're
kind of
good
chemical reaction or
bartenders.
something like
They
that.
take care
but
of
this
you.
egg is evil. It is haunted. I am not eating it. Hot coal cooked egg?
Egg popsicle
All right,
for the
just out of
win.
curiosity,
No,
I want to see
Michael,
what
no.
happens if I bury an egg
Thank you for the 19
directly
months.
in the coals. And after a few minutes, we'll just check on it. Oh, God! Oh!
Oh no!
Okay, that was a disaster. Here we have
How
an
is he
exploded
including
egg.
this as
This was
59
not a good
methods to
idea.
cook an egg?
I did this so you didn't
With this
have to.
theory,
Just don't
you could
do
just
this.
be like, oh,
Unless it's a prank.
I put it in the thing
Sauna
where
cooked
we
egg.
burn.
We've got an egg,
dead
and we've got
bodies.
this portable sauna.
It's a way
and
to cook
I'm
an
just gonna
egg.
hop in here with my egg, and hopefully
Oh my
it's just gonna cook along
God,
with me.
where can I get one of those? Is that a portable sauna?
And here we have our sauna cooked egg. If that was a real sauna and it was 180 degrees, then we probably, over the course of many, many hours, would have
Dude,
cooked an
I wanna
egg.
try
so
that.
let's see how far we got. That's a
Ew.
raw egg. Sauna egg, fail. Engine cooked egg? I've been revving the engine of this for the last 30 minutes
This-
to heat
this
things
title
up.
is
We're
a
gonna
debate.
situate this foil pack next to the engine
Every
block
way to
and
cook an
close the
egg.
hood. All right,
Like,
let's see what
that
we've
should
got.
mean
okay,
edible
this
egg.
feels disconcertingly not warm.
Or like
Here's our car
proven
engine egg.
methods.
It seems as though it was starting to cook a little bit. It definitely looks weirder than it was. Yeah, I can't recommend
Leave it
this.
in for longer.
Solar oven egg. The whole idea behind
This
this
guy's
device
starting to
is
piss
it's
me off.
somehow
The start
going
was
to
good.
conduct the heat of the sun and trap it in this environment to create a space that will cook an egg like an oven. Okay, it's been 3 hours. There's no more sunlight, so we're gonna see what we got. Yeah, this also is not really a cooked egg. There is
Now he's just
almost
trying
a
to make
little
them
bit
not
of white
cooked.
along the edge that started to cook. I think maybe if we left it out there for another 4 hours and maybe we were in Miami, then maybe something would have happened, but it is just not happening today. Solar fail. All right, a few takeaways. There are a lot of ways to cook eggs, and the smallest changes in time and temperature are gonna have a really profound effect on the texture of an egg, the way that it tastes. The other thing that we've seen is that there are a lot of classic, kind of foolproof ways for making a delicious egg, and I don't know that any of the novel methods that we used for cooking them were really any kind of an improvement. And that's it. That's almost every way to cook an egg. If you've got other ways that we didn't think of, feel free to leave them in the comments. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go get my cholesterol checked.
Fucking. All right. Science.
On December 18th, 1958, America launched a rocket that broadcasted a Christmas message from space. The message was recorded by Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the President of the United States at the time. The mission was considered a great success, as it launched